What glasses are we using? What worldview, what metaphysical glasses are we using and why? And what glasses are you using and why? The whole Weisberg project grows out of Christian worldview, or seeing this world through Christian glasses. Now the important question to ask is this: why? Why would we advocate for using these Christian glasses and not some other worldview? And this is essentially a question about which worldview should we trust and embrace. And the answer is what we would call 3C. Yes, 3C. You should memorize this. 3C. What are these 3C? Correspondence, coherence, creativity or creative power. Correspondence, coherence, creativity. What does that mean? These three aspects, correspondence, coherence, creativity, they offer us a very fine tool to evaluate our worldviews, to evaluate our metaphysical glasses, to test how good, how clear and precise they are. How would they do that? They do it by helping us to examine our worldviews in 2 steps. As we mentioned previously, our worldviews function like metaphysical glasses through which we see and interpret and respond to this world. But they are even more. We could say your worldview creates for you the world in which you live, your world. And therefore our worldviews they're very dear to us. They are like our home. And this is why I need to say it upfront, to examine our worldviews can be quite challenging and exercise psychologically, for our deepest assumptions and convictions, the very foundations of our world, may be questioned. Now, step 1. Our worldviews provide what we can call the grand story of the world, the overarching narrative that helps us to make sense of this world. And this grand story contains answers to these 4 groups of foundational questions. So first, about origins. Second, about morals. Third, about meaning. And fourth, about destiny. And these are the ones we need to examine carefully. So first, questions regarding origins. Where did everything come from? What is the nature of the ultimate reality? Where did humanity come from? What are our origins? Second, questions regarding morals. Where do we get the criteria for good and evil, for right and wrong? Are they objective or subjective, absolute or relative? Third, questions regarding meaning. What is the purpose for us being here? What is the ultimate meaning of our lives? Where can we find it? Where does it come from? And fourth, questions regarding destiny. What is our ultimate destiny? Where are we heading? Is there anything after this life? What is our ultimate hope? And every worldview provides answers to these. Every human being at some point in their lives is confronted with these questions. Now please, reflect. How would you answer them? And then we move to step 2. And this is where we get to apply our test of 3C: correspondence, coherence, and creative power, creativity. And this is where you can come across some great opportunities. If you are blessed to find that some of your assumptions and convictions may have been mistaken or not very precise, now there may be a chance to improve your your glasses, to improve your life. So first, correspondence, or we could say that this is the test for truth, Look at your answers to the first 4 groups of questions and examine your answers by asking the simple question: do these answers correspond to observable reality? Do they correspond to what we know about this world? Do they possess explanatory power? Do they help you to make sense of the world as you experience it, as you can observe and explore it? Do your beliefs fit with what we today know by means of scientific inquiry? And so on. If the answer to this is no or partly no, it is worth continuing to examine your worldview. For you may be seeing the world through obscure and distorted glasses. Now the second, coherence. What is this about? About using our reason. This is about the internal coherence of your answers. Do they create a consistent and coherent picture of this reality? Are they logically compatible instead of being mutually exclusive? Put it this way: is what you believe about the origins of everything consistent with what you believe about morality and about meaning and about your ultimate destiny? Or are there any logical contradictions? For example, is the belief in the Creator God as the origin of everything consistent with the belief that we are moral beings and there are objective criteria for good and evil, right and wrong, or that there is an objective meaning in our lives? And can the same be said about secular materialistic views? Is it consistent within itself? What about popular Eastern religion views? Take your time, examine, have fun. Finally, third one, creativity, creative power. First test was about truth. The second about the reasonableness of our views, our beliefs. And this one is about our well-being, about your flourishing. And we may come up and embrace different thought systems and even make them look attractive on paper or in a classroom. Therefore, we need to test them against reality. Does this or that worldview and these beliefs and their beliefs and assumptions that they contain promote or hinder human flourishing, your flourishing? Are the principles embedded in this or that worldview helpful for organizing our lives in society, for guiding how we treat one another? Does this or that worldview help us to thrive? Does it help us to satisfy our deepest longings? Does it help us to make our lives happier, more fulfilling and meaningful? Does it grant us peace and joy and hope? And so on. I challenge you to spend some time examining yourself. How would you answer these questions? And yes, I did it. And this is why the whole Weisberg project is founded on Christian worldview. Do not be lazy. Challenge yourself. Test your worldview. Compare it with others. Think through those hard and challenging questions. And they may help you to improve not only how you see this world, but your entire life. Or to appreciate even more how wonderful the Christian worldview is. Enjoy.